Hello, everybody out there in Instagram land. This is Liz Smith with the St. John's Boosters Business Association. And this is this is like our 17th or 18th Instagram Live with I Am a Small Business, which is our ongoing series where I interview business owners, nonprofit managers, staff from all of our different and wonderful businesses and organizations in St. John's, Portland, Oregon. I really love this series. It is so fun to be able to just invite people to sit and have just a brief chat with me and learn a little bit about them. And I learned something different about even people that I know really well and have been talking to for years. It's just, these almost in-person conversations are absolutely wonderful. So a little bit of background. This series, I Am a Small Business, was started by Venture Portland in 2020, so the pandemic year. We're still in it, but it was the first pandemic year. And it looked like this. It was a social media campaign. And we loved it so much, we adopted it for our own district of St. John's, and then decided to turn it into a live series. And we get a lot of really great feedback on this. And, hopefully half an hour is just about the right time you want to hang out. You can always watch it later, which is really nice. It's a nice feature that Instagram has. And I just love, like I said, highlighting our wonderful people and community that really make the culture of St. John's the very special place that it is. So today we have Rachel and Lillie from Club Sky High. And I'm so excited to be able to talk with them. And, every business and organization had a different experience in the pandemic. And being an essential business, of course, made it a different experience for them and a very unique one. So without further ado, I'm going to let them into the room. So we can start, which is why we're all here. It's so much fun. And oh my gosh, there they are. Okay, now we have to position ourselves. How are you guys?
Good. How are you? Good.
Good. Okay, Lillie, you need to get a little closer. You can, and then Rachel come into. I know it's hard. You guys have to be like. Well, I haven't done any with two people yet, so this is the first time.
Okay.
I love it, and
All
I
right.
love that you're wearing your gear. You've got it really nicely positioned so that you've got like your branding right there in the split frame. I'm extremely impressed, as I always am with you guys. So how are you today?
Good. Doing pretty good. Just working here at the shop today.
Beautiful day, so hopefully people are out and about.
Yep.
Well, it's so funny. I always think I know so much about the businesses, and then I ask myself, when did they open? And I go, I don't know the answer to that question. Thank goodness you're here. So when did you open your business?
February 16th, 2013.
Wow. Okay. So 21 minus 13 is 7. So you're in your 8th year. You just completed your 7th year and you're in your 8th year, right?
Yep.
If I did the math right.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. So you've been through, a couple different iterations of the business district in St. John's and seen some of the changes. And then have you also lived here for that length of time also?
Yes. We moved on Jersey Street in 92. So yes, we are here a long time. I was born and raised in St. John's.
I love that. I love seeing somebody who's gone through their whole lifetime in St. John's. And well, maybe we should introduce you. So in case people don't know who the two of you are, maybe they don't. So Rachel and Lillie, just why don't you introduce yourselves to our audience?
My name's Rachel Jones. I'm owner of Club Sky High, the dispensary. I also own the Sky High Glass Gallery. And I also own Sky High Farms, which are all three here. And then this is my daughter here.
Hi, I'm Lillie Jones. I'm the store operator at Club Sky High, and I just do bookkeeping as well for all the other companies.
Oh my gosh, you guys do so much. And that's another thing, Rachel, I don't think that people know about you is that you own 3 businesses in our district, 3. And one of them's more recent than the other one. So you have had your hands full in the last year is probably the understatement of the year. So
Yeah.
what made you, let's go back a little bit in time, and what made you decide to open this business, um and then we'll go into like how it was during the pandemic. But what made you decide like, okay, this is the business I want to open in St. John's?
Well, my husband was hurt a long time ago and he couldn't take any pharmaceutical pills. So he used medical marijuana.
Hmm.
There was no stores available to purchase medical marijuana through the OHA. One here in St. John's, but it wasn't really a store. It didn't look like a store.
It wasn't
So
professional.
right. So we thought we could do something to make the industry more professional. I started studying, I started learning the law. I walked house to house when we were going recreational to promote marijuana use for anybody that's 21 and older because I feel it helps with a lot of things. And so in 2013, me, my son, and my husband decided that we would open Club Sky High. And we opened, like I said, February 16th, 2013. We worked diligently every day by ourselves as a family. We worked for years by ourselves as family, actually, until it became recreation. At that point, I could handle all the other involved. We did open as a nonprofit, so in 2013, and then we changed over to a profit from recreational, from recreational sales. That totally took us to another level. But yeah, I've learned a lot in this industry, but my passion is definitely to have it for anybody that decides to use it as they do alcohol.
Hmm.
Uh,
And you guys were really ahead of the curve, because when things became legalized, that's when you saw like a big popping up of, different stores and dispensaries and things like that. And that's when I think it kind of like elevated to like, yeah, like you're saying, a store status, but you were already there. That was already your intention way before any of this happened. And did that, because you were sort of ahead of the curve, did that then make you a destination for not just people in St. John's, but from other areas as well?
yes, throughout so I don't know, right, currently there was 4 stores ahead of us in the state. We were the 4th store in the state as a medical dispensary. People sought our store long before recreational rolled out because we created all our product from scratch ourselves. We grew it, we processed it, we produced it. I'd go home at night and make edibles. The people would come in and ask us if we had something. If we didn't have it, we'd research it, learn how to make it, and bring it to them.
You
So
made it really like a craft business. Like I know a little bit about like the food industry. So there was a big push on like bean to bar chocolate. So it's like people who were producing the beans all the way through the end product for the bar, for that total like product, so you could know exactly what into everyone. You could stand behind every single thing. And that again is such a new and, forward thinking concept. And also taking a product that people know about but have had such different experiences with in their life, and making it something, elevated the way it should be, just the same quality as if you're buying something from the farmer's market, or you're buying it from like a really nice a food store or whatever it is, or a really nice liquor store, for example. And I love that thinking. And again, it's like, wow, that was really forward thinking of you. How do you think that, and now that so many have popped up, it was such a rush, during that time. How have you kind of like maintained your customer base, and what do they always come back to you for?
So currently there's about, I think, 500 dispensaries in the state of Oregon. We trademarked Moon Rocks. Moon Rocks. And my husband's passion is Moon Rocks, so he makes them himself and won't let it.
Wow.
So yeah, Moon Rocks is definitely something that they come to us for. My husband was able to make BHO and RSO back in the days when we were medical, and we waited 5 years, and the OLCC came this week and passed us in our warehouse, so we will be up and making RSO and BHO again after 5 years. So that was a struggle as well.
Congratulations. And I bet that people don't realize how much back end work you have to do with the regulations. Everything changes all the time. You kind of have to be on the forefront of it. And you also have to kind of fight for what you need to make sure that it's not creating barriers for you to be able to bring your product to your customers, right?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, go ahead.
We have to be safe. So I understand all the regulations with the building department services. They want to make sure that if you're blowing BHO, that you're, you have all the regulations in place with the fire department and all these other agencies that may have to come and help you if anything were to ever happen, they would know. So I understand, but it's been a long haul for us. So
It has. And then thank goodness you have a family that is willing to step in and do this together. And I was going to ask you, Lillie, I mean, I think you went to Roosevelt. I think your mom told me that. And after graduating and after, deciding, thinking about what you wanted to do for your life, what made you think like, I want to be in the family business. That's what I want to do. What made you decide that?
Well, I was always in and out helping, and I've been trained to do the company books. So now I do all the company books. So it was always something that I wanted to do. I went to college for accounting and graduated. It's just I wanted to finish schooling first. So,
Right.
At Roosevelt.
Valedictorian.
Yep, 2015. And then I went to Pacific University. I graduated there in 2019. And I don't know, I saw what my have built and I want to keep it in the family. And so I just made it a passion of mine too. And I still get to do my accounting, which is important to me. So best of both worlds.
Oh, my goodness. You went to school for exactly what your family business needed. That's great. And then you also have, everyone has that trust level with each other that, you've been doing the books for so long. They know that you're going to do it. You have a vested interest in it because this is your family business. And the other thing is during the pandemic, because you're a bubble with your family, you can actually be like this together. And that's got to make a huge difference too, because I know that's been so challenging with store owners, staff, it's been a roller coaster for everybody. And that kind of segues into, so March of last year, just a little over a year ago, the pandemic hits, you are deemed an essential business. But you still have to follow all the regulations. What did that look like for you?
I mean, I think for us, obviously, increased sanitizing and everyone has to wear masks, but everyone always wears gloves in our store just because with handling the product, we're required to. That's a regulation. But I think we handled it very well. I feel like a lot of people were upset at first, like, oh, I don't get to stay home in quarantine. And as we went along, we were proud to have our jobs and we were proud to, be able to get out of the house every day and go and talk to people and do something that a lot of people weren't able to do.
That is important. And, you realize there's the mundane things of everyday life we really appreciate now when they're taken away. And I'm so thankful that you guys were not only able to stay in business, were able to, thrive and also provide something that people needed during such a difficult time. And I'm curious, did you see, a lot of new customers coming in as a result of the pandemic?
I would say we did. I think we had a lot of people who couldn't try to consume before because of their job restrictions, but now we're at home and, eventually we didn't know how long we were going to be at home. So a lot of people looked at it as an avenue to help deal with the pandemic.
And a lot of people came in feeling anxious and they would want CBD. A lot of them were coming in for CBD, low THC, a lot of the new clientele. But yes, we definitely seen an increase in customers and revenue through the pandemic. A lot of the employees at first wanted to leave and go home and be with their family, which we kind of understood. And then they kind of came back later and like, can I get my job back? Like you said, thank goodness we are all a family because then we were all able to fill in people and it ended up all working out. And we only closed 2 days for the whole year, and that was from electric being down and a snowstorm, 2 the whole year.
That's it. 2.
Yeah. Wasn't even due to the pandemic.
Wow. Well, I know that was you guys stepping in a lot because as everyone experienced with staff, even the staff that, you know, is generally reliable and stuff, people get sick or they have family stuff or they worry. So you just have to, well, you know, as business owners, it's on you. You just have to step in. You have to not do the fun thing you were going to do because you got to go to the store now and open up. And, you know, there's been, of course, like with every district, challenges with, you know, vandalism and all that kind of stuff. Not that I want to like focus on that, but everybody has experienced it. And I wonder how you guys are able to, like, how do you keep your spirits up? How do you keep your, you know, positive disposition with all, I mean, you know, you have the opposite problem with a lot of people. You're working more, you know, some people didn't get to work at all, but you're working more than ever. And that has its own toll on just, you know, burnout and that kind of stuff. So how do you guys keep your energy and positivity up?
So I think we definitely take the time when we need the time, and we're all about family. So, you know, my mom has 4 grandchildren, so she definitely takes her time to spend with them. But it's also come down to the fact that we work with our family every day. So not sometimes not seeing my mom or not seeing my dad. So it's like, I like to go to work because it's like I get to see my mom and it's about the everything.
Well, you guys are so exemplary of a family business. Like, you know, when I say the line, like, you know, when you're supporting a small business, you're supporting a family. And that is exactly what you guys are. It supports so many different things. That could be like dance lessons for a grandchild, or it could be, you know, a fishing trip. Of course, I'm going through my own knowledge of of what I already know about you. So it could be something like a fishing trip, for example, but that supports that. And then you guys, I know, support the business district so much yourselves that it goes right back into the district, which is like, oh my God, it couldn't, that's what we hope for.
The one thing that pushes me forward is my employees knowing how much responsibility I have for all their family as well as my own. We do employ at least 12 North Portland people with families. So all of our hires are within North Portland, just because we know it's easy to get to work. It's, you know, I've been open for 8 years, but I can tell you hiring within your range of motion is just easier for the employee or employer and employee on coming to work. So we like to hire within North Portland. And like I said, we have at least 12 families here and so that keeps me going through all this.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. So it's not only, and that leads me to like, you're not only supporting a family, you're helping that business support multiple families if you're a bigger business like yourselves. And then running 3 different businesses, like how do you manage all that? Like, I mean, that's a lot. Most of our business owners don't have 3 businesses. You're very unique in that way.
So it's, I'm not going to, not hard. It's just, so like I said, for the last 5 years, we've been climbing that rope, trying to get all the licenses. Now we have them all. Now we have to train them all. And I don't know, it never gets
I would say we have a great team.
We do.
Yeah. Right. We have a really strong team with us. They're reliable. They know what's going on. They know how things be going and running. So I think that's like part in it.
Yeah. Most of our employees have been with us since the beginning, or 5 years, or so. We do have a lot of long-term employees with us too.
Yeah, that's great. And so that is great for people who might be in the audience thinking they might want to, you know, I think you guys are hiring right now, like apply for a job, or, you know, what type of culture are you going to experience working for you guys? And what I'm hearing loud and clear is it's a family culture, you know, it's a hard work ethic. Yep. That's definitely something that's very deeply instilled in you. And I know that from, Rachel's also on our board, everybody. So I get to work with Rachel doing our nonprofit work. But I know you have that strong work ethic. So I assume that you sort of pass that on to your employees, but also with the fierce loyalty that you bring to it as well. And a caring, you know, always caring about them as individuals and their families. That's huge. That's the kind of place I would want to work for sure. What would you want to tell people out there if they've never visited your business, or something different, like, I don't know, like say I've never walked in, how would you tell people about your business, and how would you invite them to visit?
Well, I think one thing a lot of people say our company is very or discreet based off of like the street. Like you can't really tell what it is at first. But I feel like if you come to our store, you're going to find something you like. We have a very wide variety of products. And that's something, you know, my mom was talking about earlier. We used to make everything and we still do that, but we carry a lot of variety too because we want to give the customer an option to pick and choose from what they like and don't like.
I would say we have a lot of comments of people that have come into our store just to see our bud, reach out to them, see how they're doing. And when they hit the door, they have the best music playing for us to kind of do. And we just stay longer.
I love that. That's so great. That makes the whole experience to go visit, even with our masks, even with our distancing. Hey, music, our ears don't have to be covered. We can enjoy that on a sunny day, right? I think too, one of the things that I love about it is there's been so many like self-care and wellness products in the CBD part of the industry. And so it's like, you know, you get a balm or you get a, you know, something else to help in ways that, gosh, we never would have thought of before. And I use CBD products and they're great. I mean, I just got my vaccination the other day and I was putting like a CBD and arnica product on the vaccination site and it helped so much. And plus it's natural and it smells good and it's all those kind of things. So that's really taken off. And I assume you probably have like lots of customers who come specifically for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, as of like due to the pandemic, I would say we have a lot of customers who want just CBD or they want a product that includes a lot of CBD. And we do have a wide variety of topicals that we carry. We have like bath salts, balm, oils, even like edibles that just have CBD in them. So if you want like a little treat, which is always nice. But yeah, I would definitely say CBD is very up and coming because it helps with like relaxing and taking the edge off without having that psychedelic effect.
And do you think that, and do you still have to do a lot of education to people? I mean, people have preconceived notions of your industry and your product. Do you still find that you're just constantly educating people on the evolution of it and so many different uses and, you know, degrees of THC versus CBD or whatever you're looking for? Is like educating people part of what you do?
Yeah, which is really nice. Companies, they always have pamphlets that they bring us, and so they'll go into depth about their product specifically and what their CBD ratios are and THC and, you know, where this strain came from, which is really nice so we can always pass that on to the customer. But yeah, we do, a lot of our customers rely on, you know, bud tenders' knowledge of what they're selling to them, or what their preferences may be. So yeah, education is key.
We do have like monthly meetings and always talking about all new stuff that comes out because of the rule changes and it's constantly changing. When we first started, the rule book was 100 pages and there's 350 pages now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That makes me tired thinking about doing all that reading. I'm glad you're doing it and not me. That's a lot, but it's good. I mean, this is your chosen field and the field to be an expert in. And, you know, it can only serve you to it's just one of those things that goes with the territory. You just have to follow all that stuff and be on top of it. And I'm sure that there are businesses who are not as on top of it as you are. And I imagine that's going to help you stand out as a reliable source that'll keep your customers coming back. And have you had some customers who have been there since like day one who are still walking through your door?
They come in and they'll say, don't you know I know the owners of this place? I've been coming here since day one. This is my club. They'll tell
I love it. I love it. It's so cool. And I love all your branding and marketing too. It has this like cool retro vibe with the letters, but also, you know, yeah, I just love it. I just love all the branding that you do, and you clearly love it too, as you can see. And I assume all that's for sale. You can buy those. And do you see them around town sometimes? Somebody walking around with your shirt on?
Every year we throw a big party for our anniversary, and we always have free food for everybody. We're always giving out free T-shirts, sweatshirts in February. So, yeah, we give them out all the time.
I love it. I have come to one or two of those, and I love that there's like always like delicious barbecue and cupcakes, and it's a true celebration. And one of the things that I really admire about you guys too is that you celebrate everyone. It's not so much like, hey, look at us, we're so great. It's like, let's celebrate each other. Come and be together with us. And you know, there's like all different ages of people running around, and it's just such a, like you said, the music's great. It's just such a fun, welcoming vibe. I would say that you guys are one of the most welcoming businesses that we have. And I think especially given your industry, where again, people have some preconceived notions about it from like days past, being welcoming and being educational, I would think is key to just, you know, even if people aren't customers, just help them understand the business, what it is. Maybe it's not for them, but maybe it's for someone they know.
Yep.
And you know, there's a lot of people going through like health stuff and aging, and there's so many different segments of the population that can benefit. Anxiety. I mean, it's just so nice that like finally that we are able to talk about this publicly. I don't even know if we could have had this Instagram live like 5 years ago. People would have been like, you can't talk about that, you know, on social media. It would have been, you know, like, no, we just keep this like separate and private. And I love that we're able to talk about it. I feel like we have come a far way. How are you guys feeling about it?
Well, yep, I feel the same way, Liz. I tell everybody the story when I first opened, like everybody that see me would be like, don't say nothing. Now they're like, hi, Rachel, how you doing?
Exactly.
So, different vibe nowadays, and it's very I'm very happy by it. It's like you said, it's been, you know, one of my life journeys to see that everybody that chooses to can use, you know, something to help them. You know, if it's alcohol, hey, that's your, you know, if it's pharmaceutical, that's your choice. Whatever your choice is, everybody needs that choice, I believe.
I agree with that. And just that it's available and it's, you know, safe, and that again, it's natural, and you know, from the seed, you know, to the end product, how that works. Are you considered like a farmer? Like, it is an agricultural business. So you have to learn that whole side of the agricultural side, right, too?
Yes, I tell everybody, I never asked for 18 licenses, but I have 8.
Oh my gosh, 18 licenses. Wow.
One of those, yes. So that's along with the education and the regulation. And yep, they come in and weigh my scales and make sure that we're giving everybody what they should be getting when they come to the store. And yeah, a lot of licenses to have this industry, for sure.
And Lillie, you have such a strong role model in your mom, not only as a business owner, as a woman, you know, as a forerunner in this industry. I mean, that's got to be so inspiring to you. Is that how you feel? Is that what you want to be for like your own children?
Yeah, of course. I mean, and that is like also why I want to keep this going. Like, I've seen how hard my mom has worked doing this from the beginning and how much she has changed in the industry. And so that is like one of my goals. Like, I want to keep it going. It's kind of like their legacy, you know. They started this, they were in it from the beginning in Oregon, and you know.
Yep. And not to leave your dad out of it. He just doesn't happen to be here. And I always tend to like have a soft spot for, you know, women in business. So, and, you know, especially women in your business, that's also an unusual thing that has changed over the years too. There's a lot more women in the business. And I think that's really neat to see as well.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, even staff levels, like before hiring people, you know, we would get like 10 male applications to 1 female applications. But like now we total reverse, where there's like a lot more females who want to move into this industry and, you know, discover what bud.
Yeah. And one thing to think about too, so Rachel, you and I are both from Chicago originally. Do you think this would have been a really different experience for you? Were you not like on the West Coast versus being like in the Midwest?
So absolutely. Illinois has rolled out regulated marijuana, and they control everything. The only thing you can do in their state is the retail level, and that's
right.
That's very regulated, you know, for cannabis. And they do, you know, Illinois, yeah, we would have been in a lot of trouble.
It would have just been so hard. It almost wouldn't be worth it, you know, just to have to all the that you'd have to climb through all these just different barriers again to doing it. It's so interesting that the liquor laws are so different. They're almost easier to open a liquor store in Illinois than in, you know, in Oregon, and easier to open, you know, dispensaries here. So it's just interesting, especially coming from, you know, we know the Midwest so well, but you know, it's not good for every single thing you want to do. There's definitely benefits to being in the Pacific Northwest, I think.
Yeah, because we're just so much more open to everything. I think if you stay within the rule of law, you'll be good to go, you know. And but we have to have the law in order to, you know, regulate
Yep.
it.
Yep. Which makes total sense. And you're so respectful of the law and taking the time to really study it and follow it and educate not only, you know, people in the community, but also of course, your staff on it as well. That's super, super important. Well, I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a chance to shout out some of your favorite St. John's businesses that you like to go to, because obviously you live here, so you're out and about as well.
So, I mean, Liz, you know, we love St. John's. I don't think I drive my car anywhere. There's nowhere to go. I know. I go to Cathedral Coffee. We go to John Street Cafe. We go to McMinimum's. We go to Stormbreakers. We go to the Hot Dog Energy. What else? We
Limbs,
up
probably.
at the bookstore. We go to Three Rivers Bookstore, Slim's. Where else? Everything. I mean, we go to all of the stores around here. Metamorphic, Rome's. Yeah, all the stores in St. John's are awesome. We don't need to go.
And you're well positioned to be able to like you said, like walk to everything. I remember when we first moved here, it got like a 4.5 rating on the walkability scale, because it's like everyone here walks, which is so nice. Because then, and especially as we're hopefully slowly emerging from the pandemic, we'll see people out and about more. And that's going to, even now you see people, you know, with their masks out and about, and it just feels so good. Cause it's like you said, they're like, hey Rachel, what's up? And you know, everyone knows each other. It drives my husband crazy because every time I go somewhere, it takes me forever to just get down the street because people want to stop and chat. And he's like, you don't go to the farmer's market to get stuff. You go there to talk to your friends. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get stuff, but I also really like talking to my friends. It's fun. Yeah, it's great. Well, you guys have been amazing. I've learned so much about your businesses and sort of the underlying passion that keeps you here and, you know, keeps you going every day. You've been an amazing like anchor business for the district, and the fact that you're a destination business that people are coming from all over because you offer not only great customer service and education, but you also have proprietary product that you can't find everywhere else. So if there are people listening who don't live in St. John's and you are, you know, a customer of this type of stuff, you need to check out Club Sky High because they have stuff that you're not going to find in other places, right?
Yeah.
And what's the best way for people to get in contact with you? Maybe give me like your address, your website, and then what social media you'd like people to follow if they're interested.
Go ahead.
So Club Sky High is located at 8957 North Lombard. It's easily accessible. You could drive, or, you know, right in front of the bus line too. We are open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. We also do delivery. So we will deliver to any Portland residential address 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So that's one thing that's really about us too. Not a lot of dispensaries in Portland or Oregon in general do deliver. So that's always something people can take advantage of, especially during the pandemic. Our website is www.clubskyhigh.net. We have our full menu on there, so we update it regularly. So that's what you could use if you want to order a delivery. Also, our Instagram is clubskyhigh_PDX. We have 2 accounts just because Instagram is very regulated. So we have a Club Sky High 710 account.
Okay.
I think we also have a Twitter, so that's just Club Sky High PDX. And that is all for social media.
That's great. I didn't even realize you guys had a Twitter. That's excellent. Now I know why you have those 2 accounts, because I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
The delivery thing is so great. I remember when my father-in-law was alive and he was using a lot of CBD. I would think for like a pandemic people, but also the older population who can't get out, to have that delivery service, that is huge. I had no idea you were doing that. That's amazing. And now everybody here knows too.
Yay.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys. I hope you do get to enjoy the beautiful weather this weekend and get out a little bit.
Oh, we
You too,
will try.
Liz.
Yes.
You too. Thank you for we were join in.
That was so fun. Thank you guys so much, and have a great weekend.
You too. See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye.
I'll see you soon. Bye.